The High Court in Johannesburg has been hearing a matter between the ANC Secretary-General Ace Magashule and the party today. Magashule wants the court to declare his suspension invalid, unlawful and unconstitutional. He was suspended after refusing to step aside because he's facing corruption and fraud charges related to the controversial Free State Province's asbestos project. The High Court has set down 2 days to hear the application. eNCA senior reporter Siphamandla Goge, following those proceedings, is joining us now live from outside court. Siphamandla, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday View. Looks like supporters of the ANC, I don't know if they are only supporters of the suspended Secretary General, have turned out in their numbers. What's happening there currently where you are? And just remind us about today's court proceedings as well.
Most of those that we have interviewed here say they support Ace Magashule, who is the Secretary General of the ANC. So there is no doubt that they are Ace Magashule's supporters, even though they are members of the African National Congress in this court case that is underway. So far, what has happened is that inside court, where the proceedings are being heard virtually, the court has had to deal with other preliminary issues. They've got to do with the issue of people wanting to join the proceedings, to intervene as interested parties. I'm going to ask Lingendabambi to come with me as we take a walk here. I want to show some of the notable faces that are out here supporting Ace Magashule. This side, I've spotted former Transport Minister Joe Maswanganyi is one of those people who are out here to support Ace Magashule. Let's see if he will comment, but in Maritzburg, he always runs away from us. Former Minister, thank you very much for your time. Talk to us about your continued support for Ace Magashule. Why are you here?
Next time. Not for now.
Not for now.
No comment today.
No, but it's just your comment. Why are you here to support Ace Magashule? There's nothing controversial about that.
No comment. Next time.
Okay, that is Joe Maswanganyi saying no comment. We expected that. Let me ask Linge to come with me, but then I see here there is Carl Niehaus. Carl Niehaus seems to be going the other direction. Let me see if we'll try and find a comment and get a comment from him. But today's proceedings mainly have been about the issue of the court dealing with those preliminary issues whereby they've had to dismiss 3 applications here, and those applications have had to deal with the issue of these interested. Mr. Niehaus, Carl. Hello, Carl. Sorry to touch you. Thank you very much for your time. So what's happening is your Secretary General going to be addressing his supporters here today. I'm sure you are disappointed. Some of the people wanted to intervene as interested parties, including Mr. Nkosenchashesi. Their applications have been dismissed, but they still have some leeway. So how are you feeling about the proceedings? But is Ace Magashule going to address these supporters?
I think you must understand that the court proceedings are still continuing. So they are not over by any means. And the Secretary General obviously has to be present in those court proceedings. And it is also not advisable for him to speak until there's an outcome on these proceedings in the next 2 days. So we have to clarify that those friends of the court who have applied to participate in the court proceedings have not been told that they cannot do so. They have been told to present a further application to the court by tomorrow, and then the court will consider their participation. That is very important. But we will issue a statement clarifying all of that this afternoon a bit later.
Thank you. Carl Niehaus is from the MKMVA. He is one of those loyal supporters of Ace Magashule. Let me tell you that when those applications were dismissed, it was with costs. We will listen to that clip from Judge Kolapen shortly. But let me tell you that at the center of Ace Magashule's argument is that he says Jesse Duarte, who is his deputy, by the way, had no power and authority to sign that letter of his suspension because in terms of the ANC constitution, she doesn't have that power and authority. That's what Ace Magashule is arguing. Ace Magashule is also arguing that his suspension shouldn't have been spearheaded by the National Working Committee of the governing party. At least it should have been a special National Executive Committee meeting that would have taken a decision that he be suspended. So he is challenging those processes. He wants the court to declare his suspension invalid, unconstitutional, unlawful. On the other side, the ANC is arguing, because there are three respondents here. One is the president of the African National Congress, Cyril Ramaphosa. Respondent number two is Jesse Duarte, who is the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, and the African National Congress itself as an organization. So the ANC is arguing in court papers that they had every right to suspend Ace Magashule to protect the image of the organization. He was asked to step aside. He remained defiant, and therefore that rule had to kick in, whereby they had to suspend him to protect the image of the party. And they say he is subjected to the constitution of the ANC. On the other side, Ace Magashule is arguing in his court papers and in his legal arguments by his legal team, including Advocate Dalimpofu, that while the constitution of the ANC is not above the constitution of the country, he is innocent until proven otherwise by a court of law. Ace Magashule is also arguing that his decision to suspend the president of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, should remain and should be declared valid because he has those powers and the authority to do so. So what is happening outside court? There is more singing and dancing and chanting. This will worry some of the health authorities as well as law enforcement agencies who are concerned about this becoming a super spreader event, as some people are not socially distancing, others are not wearing masks. So COVID-19, we are in the midst of the third wave, a very devastating third wave. Gauteng is the epicenter. Yesterday there were more than 17,000 new infections, and 10,000 of those are in Gauteng. So this has a potential of becoming a super spreader event. But let's go back and listen to Judge Koloban basically explaining the reasons for dismissing those applications by interested parties to join here, saying it's not urgent. Take a listen.
I'm also not satisfied that a proper case has been made out as to why this court needs to, on the basis of urgency, have to adjudicate the relief that they seek. That relief may well be dealt with in the fullness of time by another court. And in that regard, we're not satisfied that a proper case has been advanced in respect of the urgency of this application.
Now, that's the decision there in court, Siphamandla. But just a short while ago there's a point I just want to clarify. When you were talking to Carl Niehaus, he was saying that that happened in court, but they're going to be back tomorrow with another application. Can you just clarify what was Carl Niehaus talking about? Are we expecting these these friends of the court applicants to come back again tomorrow, or is that a different application tomorrow?
It's the same application because it was dismissed on the basis of agency. They wanted to join on an urgent basis. The court dismissed that. So Carl Niehaus and those who have been dismissed, they say, well, the court said they still have an opportunity to bring that application tomorrow to join the proceedings, but not on an urgent basis. So that's the conclusion they have drawn here. So it will not be a new application. It will be what has been dismissed today based on the fact that it's not urgent. So this matter has been set down for 2 days, which is today and tomorrow. Please allow me to take a walk this side. I want to show you the deployment of the police officers here. As I've alluded earlier on, that most of them are really worried about this becoming a super spreader event, and we've been hearing those talks within the law enforcement agencies, saying at some point this gathering will need to be properly managed, because even though the supporters are not too many, but the fact that there are people gathered here not socially distancing, that is a concern, and some not wearing masks. So if you look further down the road, you will see there that there is a meeting of police officers there from the city of Johannesburg, basically discussing how to properly manage this, because they are concerned about the event. So the matter has been set down for 2 days. It will continue tomorrow. It's a full bench of judges, 3 judges of the High Court Division in Gauteng, which is sitting in Pietermaritzburg. They are hearing this application. So Ace Magashule's supporters saying they will continue to come here inside court, which is a virtual sitting. there are those legal arguments and technical arguments that are going on outside. Supporters of Ace Magashule are present physically, pledging their loyalty and support to him, saying he's the victim of a political plot here. They say he is being victimized because some people want to get rid of him and not occupying the office of the Secretary General. They seem to suggest that this has got to do with the upcoming General Conference of the governing party, the ANC, in 2022. So this is far from over. No matter who loses this has got legal records to appeal. Ace Magashule has said that he will go all the way up to the apex court in the land, which is the constitutional court, because he is challenging his suspension on the basis of the ANC constitution versus the country's constitution. The very same constitution that he has presided over as the Secretary General of the ANC. The very same utterances that he has made in the past, discouraging ANC members from taking matters to court. Remember, Ace Magashule has been taken to court on a number of occasions as the chairperson of the ANC in the Free State. He has attended some elective conferences of the ANC as a branch delegate after the structures had been disbanded. So he's been very vocal and very critical about those members of the ANC taking the party to court. But the irony this time around is that he is applicant number one on this matter. He's the one who has taken his very own organization to court, something many people have said it's unprecedented.
Thank you very much for that comprehensive overview of what's happening there and what's set to transpire in court. That's Siphamandla Goge there outside the court here, the South Gauteng High Court in Johannesburg.